a titan, strike like a lightning bolt. You feel the ground pounding, that might be the coast. Quick like a joke, like to hit when provoked. Don't you doubt that? That's a jaguar to a house cat. That's an outcast to a whole squadron. If you talking Houston, then we've got a problem. You'll probably get the horns if you mess with the cattle. Sit back in your saddle and get ready for the fan battle.
Hey, everyone. Happy Sunday night. We'll give everyone a few minutes to log on, wait for our first comment to come in, as always, and then we'll start the live audio for those of you who are just joining us for the first time. We do this live, and we get your comments and feedback, and then the audio goes on all major podcast platforms. So definitely comment your opinion. Off-season, this time of year especially, is rough. Yeah, so all your feedback is appreciated. Guys, stop talking.
Don't tell me what to do.
Josh is muted. He's muted and talking crap.
Every time I talk at the beginning, when you're talking, you tell me that I talk too much and I'm interrupting you. So then I don't talk, and you call me out for not talking. So,
I mean, that sounds like a motion of guilt, because I don't believe
all
I've
I'm
ever
saying
called you out about
is
that.
Pray for Hank. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you should. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Where did Harish go? Did he leave us?
He's had enough of your bullcrap, apparently.
Good. He's a Colts fan. Doesn't matter anyways, right? Nothing good to see here.
There he is.
Harish.
To be fair, that last time I accidentally hit the exit button when I was trying to hit settings. My bad.
Look who has the technical difficulties now.
Still you. It's still Sammy. It's not Harish.
Harishi technical difficulties. That's what it is.
No. When Harish comes on, his stuff works and we can hear him. You're the one that comes on behind the scenes before we start, and it takes 5 minutes for your mic to work and your camera to turn on. You gotta situate your Wi-Fi. What did you have to do? You had to turn a TV off in your house to get your Wi-Fi.
Dude, yeah, let me complain about that real quick before we start. So I pay for the top tier Comcast Wi-Fi, and it can't handle the amount of devices in my house, and I don't understand that.
That's because you have Comcast.
Well, what else am I supposed to get?
AT&T.
I have Comcast, and I almost can guarantee I have more devices in my house than you, and I never have that problem.
3 kids.
I have literally 50 Wi-Fi light bulbs.
Yeah, we do too. There's
router,
there's 4 in this room alone.
Yeah, not really.
And then my cameras, the kids' computers, my 2 computers. It's too much. It overloads it.
What the hell's
But
going on? Y'all hear
Have you
that?
tried turning it off and on again?
unplug it, plug it back in.
Unplug it, plug it back in. See if that helps.
No, it's just too much stuff, I think, in this area. But I digress. Who cares about Comcast, right?
Yeah, they suck anyway.
Sorry, Harish, that we don't live in Austin and have, the best of the best. People just figured out Florida during COVID. And
Actually, I live in Kyle, and we have...
oh, you live in Kyle?
We have Centric Fiber. AT&T hasn't made their way here yet.
Oh, see, you talked all that.
I know, I missed it already. It's only been 3 weeks.
Kyle. What a name.
I was going to say it's a dumb name for a town.
It's like
that's a person's name. Texas doesn't even know how to name towns.
I live in Karen, Texas.
Billy Bob, Texas.
Billy Bob, Texas. Oh, we have an Allen, Texas, out there by Dallas.
Mm-hmm. One of the greatest football high schools.
You got Katy Perry, Texas.
Can we just talk about how Texas is probably the most disappointing state in the union? Can we talk about that for a minute? Texas sucks. So if you are listening to this and you're in Florida, just know that all the smack that Texans run about their state being wonderful, it's awful. Listen, this state is so overregulated. Every single one of their curbs is painted telling you that you can't park your car near a curb. Go to Texas, all their curbs are yellow and red. Ain't none of that going on in Florida. You can park wherever you want. Park at your own risk, but we're not going to tell you where you can't park.
Texas, get your own meth wherever you want,
Yeah, that's right.
That's Tennessee. You got us mixed up with Tennessee.
Tennessee, Florida, same thing.
Bath salts is Florida. I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought Tennessee was more like
they can't afford meth in Florida.
Yeah.
We can't afford it. No, we just don't know how to make it.
I thought Tennessee was more like fentanyl laced moonshine is what was happening.
Fentanyl laced moonshine. I
Talk
don't even
about
know.
deadly
Fentanyl
combination.
laced, fentanyl laced mayo. There you go. Get it out of the way.
That's right.
Here,
No longer
kitty,
Hellman's
kitty.
Mayo, right? Is that
Yeah.
is that the new one? Is that the thing now?
A homeless man wanders up to you in Nashville and asks you if you like spicy mayo. Say no. Say no.
Why? What does that mean?
That's what they call their fentanyl
Explain,
mayo.
please.
Extra spicy. A little kick to it.
Speaking of homeless people coming off the street, I wonder if RJ got picked up by the police over there in the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas.
He did all the things we told him not to do.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he did. Yeah.
He got off the boat and he was like, "Where's the weed?
He's like shaking
Damn
everybody's
it, RJ!"
Let me shake everybody's hand. Who wants to shake my hand?
Oh,
He's
so
out there like this. Here you go.
I like to party. Oh, John's over here taking notes. Agent Ha taking notes. All right, let's get the ball rolling. Who cares? Who cares?
Not me.
We'll start a GoFundMe for RJ's bail after this episode, so look out for it.
Look out for a GoFundMe.
Right,
We'll get the address to the jail and everybody can mail him some mayo. So he's
has something to
stocked up on
eat.
it.
We'll see
He
if
can
they
buy
use
his
that as a
commissary
currency.
only mayonnaise. Do they have mayonnaise in the
Mayonnaise.
Bahamas?
I don't know. That's pretty racist to ask if they have mayonnaise in the Bahamas.
How's that racist? It's
I don't
just
know. I
literally
feel like
a
it was.
question.
I feel like it was.
That's actually
No.
kind of status.
Are you saying
Or culturalist.
You're
the only
status.
white people like mayonnaise? Is that what you're saying? It's pretty racist.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what? Let's not go
Wow.
there.
No comment. Anyways,
No comment.
No
NC,
comment.
NC.
I'm just gonna keep making dumb comments till you start the show. So you either kick it off or this is what we're gonna have for an hour and a half. So
wouldn't be different. Wouldn't be different than when we are on the show. But anyways, let's go. Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Samantha Warnett. Joining us this evening, we have our commentators representing the Jaguars. We have Josh Allen.
that's right.
Representing the Texans, we have Matt Briggs's hat.
Yes, sir.
Representing the Titans, we have Agent Ha.
What about my hat?
Oh, we have Agent Ha's hat.
Thank you.
Built-in camera.
I only said that because Matt was like this. And so you can only
I would have gone with representing the Texans. We have Marilyn Monroe's ghost because that's what it looks like floating behind.
Oh. And representing the Colts, we have Harish Nukala.
I shouldn't bow down because you can see my bald spot.
Harish Nukala's chair.
No, the bald spot right there. Oh, never mind. Hello.
We'll fix that after the show. I got you.
I tried.
That's a bald spot. Are we sponsored by Keeps now?
Harish's bald spot brought to you in part by Manscaped.
Oh, good segue. Go ahead and get that out of the way.
No, we're not doing that. Anyways, moving on. Combine. The combine has kicked off. It's off season, guys. There's not much to talk about, but we have the combine, and then, of course, you know, the moves within our teams. We'll kick it off, you know, NFL news style, and just talk about the combine. So, what are some highlights? I know, Matt, aren't you like excited about CJ Stroud?
I'm kind of excited about Anthony Richardson, but I mean,
Don't be. Can we talk about that? Listen.
Look,
I am
dude,
telling
dude,
you right now.
Hold on,
I
dude,
watched-
do I want the Texans to pick him up? No, but am I excited to watch him? I mean, come on, the dude's an athletic beast.
Do not be bamboozled by
Bust.
this man.
I'm
I love
not-
Anthony Richardson, the human being. I watched every game he played at Florida. I'm a Florida Gator fan, and I'm telling you, I'm not saying don't draft him, but if some team drafts that guy in the top 10, they're going to regret it because he's
So, like, if you're going to draft him, you're going to have to go get a guy like Derek Carr or Jimmy G. I'm not saying I want him as a Texan. I'm not going to say he's going to be a good quarterback. I'm saying at the combine, what he does, he's doing great. Like throwing the ball, running, like he's an athletic beast.
And that's exactly why the
exciting to
combine is
watch.
meaningless. It's
Right.
meaningless. It's nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. Like it's just theater. Like it's like the TSA. The TSA can't protect you from terrorists on an airplane. It's all theater. And so is the combine. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't do anything.
Look how serious Jon Ha looks right now. He's like, "Don't you dare."
How many 9/11s attacks have happened since 9/11?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, America. Well, I'm gonna shut up.
I haven't seen any 9/12 attacks.
That's right.
We haven't had a president named Bush since then, so that's why we haven't had any of those. I'll let you connect the dots there.
But there is a story coming out of the combine.
John's like, add him. Conspiracy.
Listen, I'm already on the list. Like, I'm gonna run my mouth. I know I'm on the list. Like, so there's no point
John's
in
over here writing Josh Allen equals Alex
I'd be
Jones.
fired if I submitted him now. Should have been on there
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, that's true. You got to get some more intel.
He just took another sip. He just finished another 30 seconds of work.
It ain't hard. Listen, Josh puts all his stuff out there. He ain't hard to.
He's gonna get in his hoodie and be like, okay,
Yeah.
We know what he's thinking all the time because he lets everyone know.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it is what it is, right? So.
All right, Matt, let's hear it though. We'll circle back to the stuff that matters.
What's called Georgia
Well, it ain't the
prospect,
combine.
the number one prospect for the whole draft. The Bears was talking about getting him. Jalen Carter got arrested as soon as he got there because he falsified reports saying that he was nowhere near a drag racing that ended up with two people losing their lives, which is sad. But yeah, come to find out, he was in the car that was racing and was intoxicated. So I
Was
don't know
he
that
driving? the car?
no, he wasn't driving.
Then it doesn't
Okay.
matter. That's
Yeah.
weird for me.
Yeah, I don't.
But right,
I thought he was. I thought they said he was driving.
No, he wasn't driving. It was his car. He was not driving. But the thing is, why lie? Like, if you weren't driving,
I don't know.
You
That
didn't
feels
go
like
up-
a lie that they're making up to protect.
Because
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm
doesn't
gonna say.
Well, here's the thing: your reputation's gonna be like everyone's gonna look at you like side-eyed, even if you were just in the car. It doesn't matter if you were like any way tangentially involved in the event. People look down on you. No matter what, it's not fair, but that's what they do.
Guilty.
Well,
as
but I
charged.
mean,
He's the number one pick in my opinion.
I think it's fair to say you're a couple months away from possibly being drafted number 1 / in the top 10, and you're getting drunk and being involved, whether you're driving or not being involved, with with the sort of activity that can wind up killing somebody. So whether I'm not saying don't draft him, but like I understand a team would question like we got to talk to this guy about like.
Well,
What-
it's
what
kind of
on
like
earth were you
the.
doing? Like,
Well, it's kind of like you have the short months between like once you say like, I'm gonna enter the draft. You get an agent. You start doing all this stuff. You start conditioning and preparing. So if you're choosing to get drunk and drag race during the time, like the most important time that you need to be.
well, apparently it happened right after the
national
championship
championship
game.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
dude,
after.
This happened right after the national championship game. So this has
Yeah.
nothing to do with bowl or combine prep or anything. He literally was. How did he over celebrate? Sure, whatever. But I don't know. I think it's all. But I give to John's point. I see what they're saying. They're gonna make this something it's not. It may or may not hurt his draft stock. Did he work out this weekend?
I don't think he worked out, but I think he did go talk to people. I'm not 100%
Let's
sure.
see.
But if you remember a couple of years back, Larry Tunsil was in kind of the same situation, but he didn't kill nobody. He was just caught smoking weed. And look at his stock. His stock dropped. He went from first pick overall to what, 13th, 14th by the Dolphins. So I mean,
what's crazy is I think now like the thoughts have changed around
Does it?
that. I bet there wouldn't
Yeah.
really be as much of a
right.
stigma around
But-
that.
I mean,
Right,
it wouldn't
but-
be as big, but people would still they'd be saying something, and people would look. Yeah,
Exactly.
And
the bad thing-
mountains out of molehills all the
The
time.
bad thing about
That's
Jalen
what
Carter
it is.
too is, I mean, Henry Ruggs just happened a couple of years ago. Him killing somebody, drinking and driving. Like there's a lot of stuff that plays factors to it. But
I think some of it our team's making a big deal out of it because they're trying to get him for cheap,
right?
right? So I think that's
So he
But-
actually did get booked for reckless driving and for racing.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he was driving.
And he was.
Yeah, I don't think you get booked for reckless driving if you're the passenger.
The reports I saw was saying that he was a passenger, but I I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
it seems like an odd charge to have if you were a passenger.
I do think it's funny too how many people are ignorant of the fact that if you have your cell phone on you and it's on, like the police are going to find out if you were in a particular location or close to a particular location at a particular time. Like just lying and saying no, I was miles away from there. Like you're still
Right.
Like,
Well, that's
you're
what I'm
gonna
saying.
get-
Like, why even lie about it? You know, I mean, like you said, Josh, people are gonna find reasons to make the stock drops, right? So any reason, oh, this guy lied because his aunt mama said she was 5'8", but she's 6 foot. Like, you know, they're gonna figure.
I think he
out,
probably
like,
lied more because of the
right, the
possible
legal
criminal
Consequences,
charges.
yeah.
right. I get that, but
Yeah,
I mean-
well, if he was driving, he definitely lied for the legal consequences.
Yeah.
right. Well, that's another thing. Like, if he was driving, then that's kind of hard to, you know, to lie about, right? I don't know
I mean,
how my
he'd
car
been-
got over there.
He'd been smarter to just
Isn't
say
that,
nothing.
Can't you get charged with vehicular manslaughter if that's
If he
Yeah,
was-
that's what I
People
understand.
died, right?
If-
if he
yeah,
was
that's what I.
driving, we could technically, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand about.
But if he
this.
wasn't, then I don't know. It really does depend on was he driving.
I think it
or wasn't
depends.
he?
Yeah, I think it might
Yeah,
depend.
it
Like if
says-
they said, like if they were drag racing, then the people who died
But-
were also
hold on.
guilty of
But he
reckless
was
endangerment
driving
as well,
a
and so
Jeep
I think they might-
Cherokee.
I don't know.
He was driving a Jeep Cherokee, so he wasn't drag racing.
Oh, we don't know that. Some people like.
Maybe
to
you
go
know
wrong.
Yeah,
People.
but-
like if he's
Pretty prejudiced against Jeep Cherokees. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
that's-
but you know what we mean.
rude.
He's racing somebody else, right?
You don't have a choice.
Not everyone's Dom Toretto, all right?
I guess
the
he lives
other
his
one-
life a quarter mile at
So-
a time, right? Like,
He was
Sam looks so
he was driving a Jeep Jeep.
Are you trying to determine how fast he could have possibly been going? Is that what
No,
we're trying to
but
go
no,
through
but
make
we're
and
talking
models
about
here? We're trying to figure
happenstance.
out,
So
like-
the other person was driving a Ford Expedition, and they were both going over 100 miles an hour. So
It's not bad for an expedition.
I guess it would be like,
honestly, just on that alone, they should get off. Like that's impressive. Like,
That's pretty
like you know what?
good.
Well,
Please don't do it again. You're free to go.
We got you.
But I
Yeah.
think the ones that.
so I guess
died
that
were
would be hard.
expeditions,
Yeah, I guess that would be hard to say. Like did he kill them or how did the accident happen? Anyway,
well, that's the thing.
Sad
Is like
situation.
you could get charged with vehicular manslaughter, but like if you're not, it's like I think they would like if the other person in the other car is also breaking the law. I think then they might not. I don't know. I don't know.
They're going to charge you with the stiffest penalty they think they can prove in court, right?
Yep.
Because what they don't want to go to court. They want to force you to plea. Right. They want to plea it out. So they're gonna charge up to what they know they can. You know, they're not gonna have to fight you on to get you to plea out and take a deal.
Yep.
So
he was at the combine, so it seems like a very a prospect the Jaguars would definitely.
so VT
Was his 40 time faster than his Cherokee's 40 time?
All right, sir. If you want to get drafted in the first round, you have to beat this
You have to
Grand
be
Cherokee in a 40-yard deck.
BT is pretty familiar with the case. He said that the police have surveillance video, but nothing has been released or commented about it. So he could be driving, he couldn't be driving. So we'll find out.
All I'll say is you
To
should
be
never talk to the
continued.
cops. Don't lie to the cops. Don't talk to the cops. Don't say a word. In any situation where the cops may accuse you of anything, don't ever say a word.
Well, I mean, but he did the right thing though, right? Like turn himself in, bail out, and go to the combine.
I mean,
Yeah,
what's he
but
gonna
that
do?
was-
And then
That
lied
was-
about it. That's true. Did the exactly the right thing.
Yeah, didn't he take time before he turned himself in?
Yeah, well, when he landed in Indianapolis, he found out
He
that
realized
a
it was
worn-out
inevitable
Ford.
that they knew he was there. He did the right thing.
Okay, he did the right.
It was either he turned himself in or they come get him at that point. So it's not like he had some sort of a burden of
What a stand-up guy.
yeah.
It's not like they didn't know who he was.
But again, if you're listening to the show and you learn nothing else, never talk to the cops. Never. Don't ever talk to them. Don't ever say
That
a
is
word.
terrible advice.
That is, I will send you a video from a lawyer and a police officer that gave a talk, and it will change your mind. You should never talk to the police.
That's actually common advice that people give you. Is do
Yes.
not talk to the police.
Ask any
Jalen-
lawyer.
Jalen Carter screwed up big time, or this is a comment that came in from Chris Jackson. Jalen Carter screwed up big time, and he might drop in the draft depending on what happens. So, I mean, that's without saying. I feel like anybody's going to be scared to touch him because you're going to end up with drafting him and then
Well, so
he's in jail,
that basically helps the Bears, right? Like they were either it was Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. Well, now he's gonna fall to like the 10th, 12th pick. They can trade for the Colts. They can trade to the Panthers. Like they can trade back and still get. The
You
guy
think
they want.
Jalen Carter
So,
will still get picked up in the first round?
Absolutely.
100%.
Listen, the odds of him doing
100%.
long jail time are slim to none.
Yeah.
Like, he will plea out on some sort of probation, community service. He'll pay some fines. He's not going to jail. All this is a gambit by the NFL teams to get him for cheaper. So somebody's going to try to get him at a discount.
he's gonna go on tour and apologize. And
he's not going to jail.
He's not going to jail. I agree. But it helps teams that are trying to move up.
I mean, if you're thinking of it as the NFL is a business, which it is, right? Like the teams are going to try to get the most talent they can for the least amount of money they have to pay for it. That's just the bottom line. So, if you're sitting in the middle of the first round, of course you're going to bang the drum about, all the things he did. There's a lot of smoke screens going on from some of these teams because they want him to fall into the middle, late first round so they can grab him, when they wouldn't have had a chance before.
They wouldn't have to pay him as much. And the difference in pay between like the number 1 pick and like the middle of the first round is pretty significant.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Yeah.
Once you get out of the top 10, it drops off.
Yeah, we know we're Jaguars fans. We always have the first pick. All right. Anything else that stood out from the combine besides this?
CJ Stroud is the best quarterback in this draft class, hands down, period, point blank.
Did you hear his comments in his interview? He looks up to Deshaun Watson and
don't care.
That's what he said.
What was the other guy said? Mike Vick and Deshaun Watson. He said
Wow. Did he really say that?
He really said that.
He really said that.
Well.
Literally couldn't say.
Planted in his cheek.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know the guy well enough to tell you, but
he's like that has to be like joking, right? Like,
no, it didn't. Serious. I don't know him well enough to say for certain, but it's not an obvious joke if he's joking. It seemed pretty serious.
Just that answer feels like an obvious joke.
No, man, I don't think it was. I mean, he's an OSU quarterback, and we all know that they're not very bright and they don't pan out.
You mean Ohio State?
OSU, that's what I said.
Oh, they said
I thought you said LSU too.
Oh, sorry, OSU, Ohio State, not. But LSU quarterbacks don't pan out.
So who gets CJ Stroud? Is it the Texans?
It's the Colts.
Yes. Unless the Colts move up with
right all the way to the line.
They probably will. They get Bryce Young, then it'll be the Texans.
Okay, hold on. Let's take a trip down memory lane real quick. You guys remember in seasons past when we're talking about the draft, and Harish used to love that the Colts always traded out of the first round.
Yep.
Anybody remember that?
Yep.
How you feel about that now, Harish?
Well, I mean, I still don't have a quarterback, so you go all the way up to number 1.
Carson Wentz is available.
Mm-hmm.
and I've been on the CJ Stroud train for basically all year, so I'm doing whatever it takes to get CJ Stroud. I don't care if Ballard.
So what are you doing to get CJ Stroud?
Future first round picks, players, and combination of anything. You'd give up anything.
Would you give up 2 first round picks to jump up and get him?
100%.
Really?
Here's the thing. This is the best position the Colts are going to be in to get.
Get Harish on the staff already.
Yeah, get me on the staff. Let me be the GM. I'll make it happen tomorrow. But here's the thing. Shane Steichen, his number 1 thing with quarterbacks is accuracy. And CJ Stroud is the most accurate quarterback in this draft class. And it's not even close, actually, accuracy-wise. And
You guys only have 1 first round pick?
Yeah.
You guys would never trade for picks. Never mind.
Not really.
The Texans have 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm also
But Texans ain't.
Fan. I'm not an Anthony Richardson fan. If God forbid we draft Anthony Richardson, I might cry in a corner. Same with Will Levis. I mean, for me, it's really it's between Young and Stroud. But I've been so high on Stroud all year, really.
But the Texans ain't going to draft, so it's all on. I think it's going to be the Colts, the Panthers, and maybe the Falcons or the Raiders try to trade up.
To me, the Texans have no reason to trade up. They are in the perfect spot. They just get whoever somebody else doesn't pick up, right?
Right.
Did you see the article about Will Levis?
Yeah, where he said he does not drink mayo in his coffee.
No. So there was a thing that he puts mayo in his coffee from time to time. That came out a couple months ago. So
at the combine, he said those were false. That he was just goofing around. He really doesn't put.
Yeah.
mayo.
Okay.
But,
Well, he's also apparently afraid of milk.
Yeah.
The man is scared of milk. If he sees milk, he's terrified of milk. Can you imagine drafting Will Levis as your quarterback and fans literally just bring like jugs of milk into the stadium and the man is just terrified on the sideline? Like I'm telling you right now, I will smuggle milk into TIAA Bank Field and I will throw milk at Will Levis if one of your idiot teams draft this man. And he eats bananas with the peel on. He doesn't peel the bananas before he eats them.
I feel like this is also trolling, just like the mayo in the coffee.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
If it is true, I hope the Colts or the Texans draft him.
Yeah, he definitely needs to go to the Colts.
Absolutely.
That's the comment that just came in.
If I don't get Young or Stroud, I'm trading out of the first round and going to go get Hooker in the second round or something like that.
Why you give him in the fourth?
Fine, I'll take that too. I want nothing to do with Levis or Richardson. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but
I would take Richardson before Levis for sure, but I wouldn't want
Well,
to.
that's the thing about those two quarterbacks. Those two quarterbacks have low start off, but their ceiling is so high. But that's
Will Levis? No way.
Yeah,
Will Levis sucks.
He's one that rated the most potential in the draft. He's probably the highest potential over.
Listen, I'll just go on record right now. Will Levis will never be a successful starter for an NFL team.
Will Levis,
my opinion, I think he's Blake Bortles, but
no,
that's just,
I think Will Levis is going to end up being Sam Darnold.
That good? Come on.
If you compare him to Blake Bortles,
you liked Sam Darnold.
I did like Sam Darnold, and then he went to shit. I liked Sam Darnold when he was coming out of college, and then he went to shit.
I mean, he's still out there, so that could be your quarterback.
He's like fucking basically 30 at this point. I don't want him. Listen, y'all are not gonna try to sit here and troll me. I told you who I wanted. All right.
Sam Darnold is what you told me. I've heard you say that many times.
Cut the crap. You need to shot.
Yeah, I heard that Frank Reich was God and all kinds of stuff on this podcast.
Yeah, I heard that too. Listen, I could be a Titans fan too and move goalposts all I
want. Goalposts have I been moving?
I know a Titans fan that moved the goalpost so far he became a Chiefs fan, but we won't mention it.
That's what goalposts I moved.
Dead.
I wasn't talking about you, Agent Ha. I was not talking about you. That's not.
Oh no, that was not funny.
Well, last thing before we move on, why didn't Bryce Young
grow enough? I don't know.
No,
sounds like you were telling a joke. I was waiting for the punchline. Why did Bryce Young cross the road?
Why isn't he throwing? Does anybody know? Why isn't he throwing at the combine? Like,
because he's short.
Good question.
I don't think Bryce Young has anything to gain by throwing.
Oh, I think throwing. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's waiting till his pro day. Wasn't he? Is he injured?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he is. I think the only reason why he came to the combine was his measurements, and that didn't help him at all either.
From what I've heard, isn't that the biggest thing they look at? Really, like forget all this 40-yard dash stuff and all that. Yeah. They pretty much they're looking at hands, the size of hands.
Yeah.
Wingspan, things
your
like
height
that.
and your weight, and yeah.
Well, I do think they look at the 40. I think the 40, the vertical leap, and then their actual physical measurements seem to be what I see everybody focusing on. But what do I know? I've never.
I actually I got a shot of Dougie P up there, and he's like got his tongue out, like filling out his sheet.
Got Michael Jordan going on, does he?
Yeah, like writing down notes. So should be an interesting draft for the Jaguars. Well, let's move on. Break down our individual teams, and then we'll sign off this bad boy. So who we got up first, Matt? Production. Jaguars
Oh,
first.
God. Listen, I hate my team. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't know if you guys saw the NFLPA report cards. They interviewed all the players.
Man, we forgot to go over that. Yeah.
I hate my organization more than any of you will ever hate the Jacksonville Jaguars. I went on record when the thing came out about rats being in the concession stand saying that the Jaguars need to do something. They need to talk about this. They need to get out in front of it and say, we're putting pressure on the city of Jacksonville, because the city of Jacksonville runs the stadium, even the part where the locker rooms are. But let me back up a sec. So the NFLPA did surveys of all the players about different conditions, all the different aspects of playing for that team. And the Jaguars, from a personnel standpoint, they love their coaches, they love the staff, they love the culture there. But the locker room, apparently for 3 to 4 weeks, was infested with rats. And this is like a locker room that, by the way, is $3-4 million locker room, right? They went through and did some heavy renovations. It is, I've been in there before. They do tours. Like, it is a nice setup. It's not like cheap looking. So rats being in there is like a big deal. And the Jaguars have said not a word. They didn't say a word about the concession stands during the season, getting the health inspectors report where there was rats. They said nothing about this survey from the players, and it just frustrates me to no end that they will not get out in front of this and put pressure on the city, because they're in the middle of negotiations for a new stadium. And to me, I'd be banging that drum pretty hard. We definitely need some.
I think a lot of that too did come from all the construction that they're doing around there and all the things that they've torn down and things like that. The biggest thing that did bother me about that is when they mentioned that one of the players' girlfriends had to breastfeed her baby on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
But I have to kind of be like, no, because they have a breastfeeding area specifically for everybody. So when I read that, I was like,
for me.
Yeah, Jon Ha breastfed down there when he came to see the Golds play.
When he was visiting, he came down there to the breastfeeding area.
But I will say, I think some of this will be alleviated. They're building, they're spending like $20-30 million on that practice stadium and office facility.
Stuff like this help the Jaguars get a new stadium, though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, and it doesn't feel like they're using it to do that.
Yeah.
But the NFLPA did say that. They said, that being said, we know that they're in the process of doing renovation, so it's going to be better. But yeah, that one about the breastfeeding thing really bothered me. So for those women out there who are pregnant going into next season, if you go down, to the main concourse, there is it's called like Little Jags thing or Jags Cubs or something like that. There is a breastfeeding area at the Jaguar Stadium.
So, but the only bad thing is that this could eventually hurt teams, like getting free agents and stuff like that. Like, did y'all hear about the Cardinals? They make their players pay for their lunch.
That was crazy.
Like, what? Yeah.
The food at the facility is not free to the players. They have to pay. They basically dock their pay. Right. And the players said not only did they have to pay for it, but it was awful. Like, the food was terrible. Like, not good at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they showed the locker room, like where they're like
terrible.
It's like literally like a fold out table. But I was shocked too to see that the Chiefs didn't score very high.
Nope.
They scored very low too. And that was,
well, it's a pretty old stadium.
Well, yeah, can we just say Arrowhead Stadium is awful.
It's really old.
Yeah. So there's gonna be
But
it's one of those stadiums that it's so historic that it's like they don't build a new one because it's no longer about Arrowhead, right? So all you can do is
Sadly, I live up here, so
new coats of paint.
I know a lot of they're about to build a new one.
They've got
a new baseball
they have to.
and football stadium downtown Kansas City.
Yeah,
what about like Green
But
Bay?
you know who's top 5? The Texans, number 4. Pulling that Deshaun Watson. Best stadium ever.
Yeah, they said the massage therapists were
wonderful. Yes, the ending is fantastic.
I mean, but NRG is a new stadium,
right?
Yeah, relative.
So when you look at that and you look at market also, like NRG is new, Houston's got a bigger market.
It doesn't. Yeah, just because you have like the best stadium doesn't mean your team is good, though.
Well, I know that. I mean, John, my team's so
who
horrible.
Really
I gotta
bad?
brag
The team
about
just
it.
won the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. Like
that's what I'm saying. My team's so horrible. I gotta brag about that. I mean, come on now.
I've been to NRG. It is a nice stadium.
It is a
And
very
trust me, you got
great.
RJ Ellison bragging about the Titans developing a new Top Golf as a stadium. Like, come on now.
Very nice.
Listen,
They're gonna have a very nice
I've been to-
IKEA
listen,
with a football field.
I've been to Nissan Stadium and I've been to a Top Golf. Top Golfs are way nicer.
So Josh, I will say, on top of that, also, I did get my season ticket renewal, and my
How much did
ticket.
it jump?
Okay, so I guess everybody else's went up a lot, but I'm no longer grandfathered into founding prices, so mine went up $250 per seat.
As a percentage, how much is that though? That's what, like 25, 30%, right?
I can't do math. What are you making me do math for? I don't know. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Because the dollar amount tells me nothing. If you're paying $2,000 a seat and it goes up $250, it's different than if you're paying like $750 a seat and it goes up $250.
Oh, true.
So it would be, damn, I don't
That's what
know.
you get for having a
It's
team
a
that
lot.
won.
It's a lot of percent. Okay.
Is it more than half of what you currently pay for what
No.
Okay.
No.
Not more than 10%?
I would say it's about 20%.
So that would be more than 10%.
Yes, it was more than 10. He said half.
That's true.
Well, I've seen a couple people posted online some of the sections, and not even like the super premium sections of the stadium have jumped like 32, 33%, like some people's tickets. So,
Maybe
like,
mine's 32, 30. I don't know.
and you
'cause I
gotta
can't do
understand, like
math.
Jacksonville is not like a even middle of middle class. Like it's lower middle class, like working class, like
Okay, so for comparison, it was $785 per seat.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a
For the 9 games, and now it's 1,035. So what's the percentage on that?
It's like 25%.
31.8%.
That's how much mine went up. Now,
31?
most of those people were probably founding members. I know the people that sit next to me, they're fairly new, and theirs only went up $100. So I guess they're not
you renewing?
honoring. Come on, of course I am.
That's why they're doing it.
There's one of those that just complains just to complain.
It hurt, but I did it. But anyways, do you have any other?
Josh Senior, we did talk about that. You missed it. I said I hate my team more than you'll ever hate them, because my team isn't talking about it, and doesn't feel like they're doing anything to solve the problem.
But for the first time ever, you have Jaguars players that are wanting to stick around. They're restructuring their contracts. How does that feel? And then we'll move on.
It's pretty cool, and it's pretty cool the reports that I've heard that Trevor Lawrence sort of spearheaded some of those talks. Like he took people out to dinner, had them over, like, and he's doing a lot to say, like, I hope so. That would be amazing. Can you imagine like a Waffle House filled with Jaguar players and Trevor Lawrence is going like table to table trying to get guys to buy in to like restructure their contract to stick around to make another run.
I'll get you a pecan waffle
Like,
if you.
bro, listen, I'll get you extra hash browns, anytime you want. Just stick with me. But it's just pretty neat because we've had other quarterbacks who were bought in, right? Like Blake Bortles was a guy who was bought in. David Garrard was a guy who was bought in, right? They loved being here. They loved playing for Jacksonville, but they didn't have the talent that that Trevor Lawrence does. Calvin Ridley, he has applied for reinstatement, but I don't know if it's been approved or not. I've not heard anything on it.
I've not heard
All the reports I've heard.
His suspension was. Yeah, I thought his suspension, he'd served it. I thought he was like.
It's indefinitely, so they can make it longer if they want. It's indefinitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I thought that they said a year, and then it was like when the year's over,
He's suspended indefinitely with the option to reapply as of some date in February. I forget what day it was. And he said he applied for reinstatement, and I guess there's some process that they go through with him and the NFLPA and the league. And I've not heard any status on it. Every report I've seen seems to think that there's no reason he wouldn't be at this point. Like, but who knows, right? Like he's not on the team until I hear he's on the team. If he is on the team, I think he will play.
Interesting case with that guy too, because he before his suspension, he stepped away. He just said, "I need a mental break from this."
Yeah.
That's why I said I wasn't a fan.
People forget about that too.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
Well, I wonder if some of that was just he knew what was coming down the pike, right? He knew he's busted for.
He's probably getting.
gambling.
And he played for the Falcons, so.
So the Jaguars are gambling on whether or not Calvin Ridley is going to be reinstated for gambling.
Yes, I do think so. I mean, it's a big gamble too. It's a $18 million cap hit or something, if I read correctly. I think what you're going to see there, that's the reason I don't think the Jags are going to make a big splash in free agency in the wide receiver market, and I think you'll see probably Marvin Jones Jr. Move on from the team this year. I don't know if his contract's up or if they're going to cut him, but that's just the rumors that people seem to be circulating around. But to answer Sammy's question, and then I'll shut up about my stupid team. It feels nice to have players actually want to play in Jacksonville, and I know it's a small sample of success so far, but it's just it feels night and day different with Doug Peterson at the helm and Trevor Lawrence as the quarterback. Like, it feels like there is the first time in a long time a real chance that the Jaguars might have some sustained success in a culture that isn't just losing over and over again.
I feel like you're in an upswing at the right time too, just considering the division that you're in. Like,
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, considering the Titans released all the players,
Yeah, the timing is perfect. And you know what? A lot of the times that's kind of what it comes down to a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
luck is a big element.
Kind of like a lot of these things come down to ebbs and flows. Like, every team has their ebbs and flows for the most part. It's hard to have that sustained success. And so, like, when you start swinging at the right time.
Well, that's a good segue. John. Oh. John.
Wow. Horrible
Jeez
segue
Louise.
here, by the way.
Do you even know what you're doing?
Yeah.
No,
Really?
it's me and Matt both trying to click at the same time. Titans.
What about Titans?
Well, speaking of John, hold on. We got a comment for him. Will Jeffrey Simmons be the next Titan headed to the Eagles?
I'm glad this is perfect time.
I mean,
Talking about Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
I mean,
You heard what he
I
did,
want
right?
him to stay. Yeah, he's doing the thing that all the players do when they want the big payday, which
He deserves it, just like AJ Brown did.
Like I said, I think that, like, I've been on record. I don't know if it's been here or other places that I felt that Jeffrey Simmons, besides Aaron Donald, has been the best, like, interior lineman, like, in the league. Like,
God, how many podcasts
Aaron Donald clearly number one, but I thought that Jeff Simmons was, like, there. So the guy's a monster. He's a beast, and I think that I want him to stay. I don't know what this new GM's going to do, so it's a big mystery. I know what would happen if J-Rob was still there. It would lowball the hell out of him and then let him walk and try to draft a replacement. I know that's what they would do, but I don't.
And then all the fans could be like, "Oh, he's just the next Jeffrey Simmons. It's okay."
Yeah, trade him for a out of shape, asthmatic defensive tackle, right? That's what we do.
Exactly.
What do you think about some of these moves so far? Like, how are you feeling? I mean, obviously, like you said, it's a new GM. It's expected. Like,
and oftentimes I know a lot. Like, you see a lot of new GMs just want to make their personal stamp on the team. So sometimes these people that are like staples of the franchise get moved out because the GMs are ready to, like, no, I'm going to create my team. I'm not just going to try to patch the holes that the other GM messed up. I'm going to create it for how I want to do it. So it's what's up?
Comment from Josh Senior: when he all cut Bud Dupree so he can go back to Walgreens.
Yeah, Bud Dupree's definitely going to get cut. Like, I liked the Bud Dupree signing, and I like what he did when he was on the field, but I got tired of paying him $20 million a year to have 1.5 good games and then sit for three games. You just can't have that. It's unfortunate. Like, if it were up to me on the defense, Danico Autry and Jeffrey Simmons. That's who's important on the defensive line. I don't. Simmons has been pretty vocal about wanting to stay in Tennessee. I don't know what that means, but again, a lot of these things come down to money. This is where the agents go to work. This is where the GMs talk to agents, and the players like to just sort of distance themselves from the public. So we're just going to wait and see who actually gets them.
These comments tonight, this is off season, like, honestly.
This is how bored we get.
Yeah. Have you seen my baseball? That's Michael Roach. Have you seen my baseball? Man, good old off season. So, cap wise, how are you guys doing? Because I know that was a questionable thing.
I mean, better than we have been, like, in recent years, but still not great. So I know, like, we've got some room to spend money, but again, like, when it comes to, like, Jeffrey Simmons, these things are for, like, signing bonuses. Like, you can sign a player, like, in cap space hell, but the owner has to have the money to just pay him with signing bonuses, and then you
Yeah.
solve all the problems. You know what I mean? So it's just a question of how much is Amy Adams like what's she gonna Amy Adams Strong. Yeah. So how much she's gonna I was thinking the actress when I said Amy Adams. Anyway.
Right.
It's just how much is she willing to like pull out of her
Personal
own personal
pocket.
checkbook to because that's really what it comes
Well, yeah,
down
'cause
to.
you have to
So
be
it's like,
careful,
This is
'cause-
what it is, but
Yeah, you have to be careful because look at the Rams. That's what the Rams did, and they got all
well,
the and they got a
you
Super
could
Bowl
say
out
that
of it. But
yeah, but you say the Rams
just that
did
year.
exactly what they wanted to do. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but
Like,
don't you
guess
want to
what?
build a dynasty and build a culture? Like they
I
literally
want
got
to
a
have
Super
a
Bowl.
Super Bowl. Listen,
Just it?
I
That's
don't
it?
have a
Just
Super
one?
Bowl. I'd like one. Thank you. I'd like one, please.
I mean, at least you went to the Super Bowl. But my point is, isn't the goal
Yeah,
to
exactly.
like?
And I'd like to actually have a Super Bowl because here's the thing: once you win the Super Bowl, great. 10 years later, no one's going to give a care that the team fell apart because of the cap space hell. They're going to remember how successful the team was. Like that
Well,
Rams
I
Super
mean,
Bowl,
yeah.
people
Look
are
at the
going to
Colts.
remember
That's
how
all they
great
talk
they were.
about. That's all they talk about.
You know, but yeah, that's all that matters is winning the Super Bowl. You could say, oh, okay, like, guess what? Like, but here's the
See,
thing. Yeah,
prime example. Here's a
let
comment that just
Colts
came in.
got it done. You know what's more valuable than potential? Actually having winning the Super Bowl. A bird in the hand's is worth two in the bush. I don't care. Like I don't care about unknown potential.
Hold on, I
want
gotta
to
write that
actually
one
win a
down. A
championship.
bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Have you never heard that expression before?
I
Oh,
haven't.
I'm sorry. You're in,
What?
Yeah, you're
There's
in
no
Florida.
way
You
you've
guys
never heard
aren't.
I've
You
never
haven't
heard
heard
that.
that.
I've actually never
You
heard
never-
that question.
You never heard of Ozzy Osbourne? I mean, come on now.
Is that
Anyway,
an Ozzy Osbourne thing? I didn't.
Or what? He
No,
references one of
exactly.
his songs.
I probably.
The argument was that like I think what the Rams did exactly what they wanted to do. They paid all this a bunch of money to get the Super Bowl. They got the Super Bowl. Okay, yeah, they're paying for it now, but the ends justified the means. When it comes to the
I've heard
Titans,
that
I
one.
don't know. Yeah, okay.
I've heard
I don't know. I don't know what our new GM is looking to do. I can tell you right now, Vrabel's the kind of guy who would do that. Vrabel's the kind of guy who would mutilate his own genitalia to win a Super Bowl.
You know what? That's why I always love it or hate it. Will say that Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Oh, I agree.
Like I think that like everything that they say that Dan Campbell is, I think that's what Mike Vrabel actually is. You know how they talk about Dan Campbell as a head coach. I think that's what Vrabel really is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Vrabel's going to have a lot more accountability this next season too, though. Like it was really easy to throw J-Rob under the bus for this last previous year. I don't know how much influence Braves had, but he's definitely going to have more influence. These upcoming years.
I don't think
he's going to be definitely under a microscope. He's going to be, But here's the thing: he's elevated people on the staff already to replace like who we fired on the coaching staff. I was like, okay, we got rid of Downing. It was like, okay, cool, great. What are you going to do, Braves? Because you're the one in charge of the coaching hires. Okay, let me just go ahead and elevate Tim Kelly. Why? Like, wasn't this like, I don't understand. Like, so, like, as much as people were ready to blame J-Rob for the play calling and Tom Downing for the play calling, Vrabel needs to take some accountability for who's replacing him. But who knows? Maybe.
Especially when you have people like Matt Nagy and Eric Bieniemy out there interested in his job, you know? Like guys who were
don't even get me started on Bieniemy. Like I don't understand. Like I don't.
That blows my mind. That blows my mind.
I didn't understand that either.
I think Jackson Mahomes put a curse on him.
Speaking of Jackson
Mahomes, I was about to say.
Yeah, well, Jackson Mahomes, he's got bigger problems right now.
Yeah,
but
Jon
here's an
Ha
interesting question.
on the run for him.
What's the name of the draft guy? The guy in the draft that is in trouble for racing? I'm drawing a blank.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. Who does more jail time, Jackson Mahomes or Jalen Carter?
So I don't even.
That's be Jackson Mahomes.
I think it's gonna be Jackson Mahomes.
I mean, it's
should we ask Calvin Ridley? He could give us the odds on that.
I thought that Jackson Mahomes was gay.
Well, that was the headline. The most shocking part of the news story was that it was a lady and not
That's
a man.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Well, has anybody seen the video?
No.
Yeah, it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of weird.
I mean,
it doesn't look good.
It's not good at all. But it's he just runs up there and humps, which is not right. But he don't like. No.
No, he did not. He did not. He wasn't shy about it at all. He walked
he can
into
still
that
be
with
gay,
confidence
but
as if he was part of the team.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah,
still be
but
gay,
did he
but
sexually assault or sexually harass? I don't know. Is there a difference? Who knows?
He
Whatever.
he
I
he
mean,
kissed
what
the lady against her
constitutes
will
assault?
3 or 4
Because he
times.
Yeah.
and then
Uh,
and then and
planted
then
his face right on her face, just
And then-
grabbed her and
and
right
then
there.
pulled Deshaun Watson and thrusted himself against her a couple times
Yeah,
too.
it's bad. Like the videos, but
So,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
It's
it.
not pretty.
It's not hard to find. It's probably on his TikTok.
Probably. I guarantee, and I'm
Probably
sure
doing a dance with her
at
crying in
some
the
point,
background,
Didn't you already
Brittany,
know if it is or not, John?
Brittany Mahomes has probably already defended him and deleted the tweet too.
I'm sure.
Well, she was in the video too. She was pouring champagne on everyone.
Probably.
Listen, the people don't want to say things like this, but I'll just say it. She seems like she's a moron. Also, like she just
is.
seems.
What do you mean?
Like a
Nobody wants to say that. Everybody says that.
Yeah,
no,
she's
I think-
I haven't seen many people criticize her, but like she
I think
seems
Patrick
like a knucklehead.
Nobody
I
can
think
stand
Patrick
her.
Mahomes made a deal
I
with the
have
devil.
never listen.
And-
I have never heard. What's her name? Brittany Mahomes. Is that her name? I haven't heard her say 2 sentences, so I couldn't tell you what her level of intelligence is.
Well,
Look,
yeah,
Patrick
there's a reason
Mahomes
why
made
there's
he made a
reason why-
deal with the devil, and the devil said, "The only way I'll make you a goat is you have to deal with Brittany Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes."
Yeah.
That is
Well,
the
that's what
deal.
somebody was like, Pat Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. And I was like, yeah, but except now with Pat Mahomes, now we got to deal with Brittany and Jackson. It's
Yeah,
not like
right,
Giselle
right.
kind of just like did her
Yeah.
supermodel thing and like looked pretty and like was the mother. And then we got to deal with,
But in
Idiot
her
Brittany
defense,
Mahomes and-
she was a lot better than she was in years past.
Sure.
This year.
Well,
Yeah,
I
probably
think
because they
Patrick
told
told her.
her.
Right,
Yeah.
I
right.
swear, if you.
Well, that's what I was about to
embarrass me,
say.
Listen,
yeah.
I think there was a lot of people that sat down and said, "Hey, look,
And-
this is not good. This is not good for our brand. This is not
Yeah.
good for image. This is
That's
not
probably
good
why he
for,
keeps knocking her up. But like, look, I'm gonna knock you up, so you have to stay at home. You
Right.
can't,
And you can't drink.
Right,
Listen, going
right.
back to that deal with the devil, if I'm offered that deal, I'm telling you right now, I don't take it. I'd rather be happy in my
Right.
Toyota than be miserable with Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes in my Ferrari. Like I don't know, man. Like
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
good,
know that I
guy.
could do it.
Thanks for no thanks.
I don't know. That's
Hard
I don't know,
pass.
I felt bad for Patrick, and it's like Jesus Christ, man. Like, whew, that's brutal.
Anyways, anything else to add,
Sound like
John?
Kenny Powers.
Anything else to add, John?
I don't know. We're just waiting and seeing. To me, like everyone's already in Titans land. Everybody's already like wishing and hoping that Tannehill gets cut, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so. Either.
Me personally, I'd rather they focus all their energy on an offensive line because I think a healthy offensive line, Tannehill's better than anything that we could get. So, and cheaper. So I say we just fix an offensive line. But other than that, it's
I honestly do
offseason.
think this truly is their last shot that they can give Derrick Henry to go do something.
Like poke him.
Listen. I said like back this up to like let's rewind this to last year. I said like it's like I was already out like saying no, Derrick Henry's not who you build the team around. Like last season, I said this is AJ. It was the 49ers game last season when AJ Brown single-handedly won that game, and I said that's the moment that everyone should have known that this is who you build the team around now because the shelf life of running backs is what it is. You've heard this, Reese. You know how I am about running backs. As great as Derrick Henry is, you know the end is coming. And even in a bad season that everyone thought he was 1,500 yards, but guess what? He's not going to get that many this year either. It's going to be lower and lower and lower. So don't build around Derrick Henry. I think they might try to do one more with the stars on the roster. Let's get one more shot at it while we're still actually really rebuilding. So I don't expect much out of this team. I think it's going to be a very, very underwhelming performance this season, which I don't know how much people expect from them, but I don't think there's going to be much there.
All right. Well, let's move on. Harish. The Colts.
Not much going on here. We hired the special teams coordinator from Notre Dame, so that was pretty interesting. And then just hired an offensive line assistant to the offensive line coach, also from Notre Dame.
And you got a Jaguars coach. What's his name? Jim Bob
Cooter.
Oh, Jim
Bob Cooter.
Oh yeah,
Jim
hell
Bob
yeah.
Cooter.
The most,
Jim Bob Cooter. We'll see how that goes.
the most Tennessee name ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, it's the most Alabama name ever.
Right.
He literally comes with a
sounds like-
banjo.
That
This is the
sounds
thing.
like a Crimson Tide defensive coordinator right there.
I think I guarantee at some point that Colts Stadium is going to end up with rats because it was actually Jim Bob Cooter the whole time.
Oh God.
Just wait. And then you guys can put it on a banner.
Oh yeah, you know how we love our banners. We get a banner.
I had a Jim Bob Cooter with rats.
Yeah, Jim Bob Cooter rat.
Jim Bob.
Move over, Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean it's really nothing much. Just building the staff. I don't really think we've heard a couple of comments around what Shane's looking for in a quarterback. Beyond that, it's been really quiet. Nothing
Does
really
Jeff
happening.
Saturday stay on staff or is he done?
I think he's gone.
Yeah, but is he going to be hired
No.
anywhere? No.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
Special
He's,
advisor.
why? Here's the thing: if I'm Jeff Saturday and they didn't make me the head coach, why would I stay? I have a coach job at ESPN. What do I need to stay for? I owe nothing. I've done my due diligence.
Because Ursay and Saturday love each other?
Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck. About
Didn't
that.
Ursay come in and do the ultimate favor of just like, all right, that's fine. I'll be the guy that waltz out there and just gives it my best
Probably.
shot, and then just go back to doing what I do.
Listen. As soon as Shane was announced quarterback, I stopped worrying about what Jeff Saturday was doing. So I don't really care.
So that's
But,
it?
It's been pretty quiet. Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on.
Well,
Just hoping and praying for CJ Stroud. That's all.
cross your fingers.
That's
Matt?
all I can do.
Okay, so what's the pick in the
Oh.
where are the Colts picking
4.
Or as of right now,
for?
my hope is that they trade up to 1.
And take Anthony Richardson.
You shut up, Josh.
The
Allen.
Bears probably do want to trade away.
Will
don't
Levis.
they?
Do what?
You think the Bears probably do want to trade that one away, don't they?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it'll take a couple of picks, probably a first next year. I mean, I'm probably in the minority that want the Colts to trade up, but I think they need to go all the way to 1 and get CJ Stroud. I think he's absolutely what Shane Steichen is looking for. And Steichen has said it multiple times. I want a quarterback that's accurate. Well, you know what? This is the most accurate quarterback in this draft. So this is your best opportunity to go get him.
And your buddy Leslie Allen Turner wants CJ too because it's typed CJ 3 times in the chat. So
CJ.
Is he with the
Yeah.
second pick going to take
Yeah,
CJ Stroud?
Yeah. So I'm hoping they find a way to get Stroud. If not, I don't really know what they're going to do in the draft. I'll just sit back and watch. I'm very curious what happens in free agency for the Colts.
Format.
yeah.
Ballard's basically, to me, Chris Ballard should be throwing the kitchen sink and gambling the future of the Colts because this is his last chance. He has no opportunities after this. If he fucks up this year, he's done. So
That's
Sounds
your
like
boy.
we heard that before.
That's
I
your
was gonna say,
boy.
sounds-
Yeah, that's your
Sounds
boy.
like we heard this before.
I also heard Chris Ballard never.
Chris Ballard is an excellent drafter. There's everything. It shows.
Hey, someone rolled the tape from last year.
Right.
Rolled the tape. Ballard never trades up. He never trades up.
He doesn't. I'm hoping he does this year. I'm saying I hope
You
he
should
does.
write. You should write him a letter, dear Mr. Ballard.
I'll probably just go on and say,
Prove me wrong.
Yeah. I never said he was going to trade up. I said I hope he trades up. I said I think he should trade up, but I don't know if he will.
Double dog dare
Yeah,
you to
I was
trade.
about to say that. You
Yeah.
should double dog dare him. I double
Cue
dog.
that Eminem song where someone's like, "Dear Slim."
Yeah.
Right.
Dear Mr. I'm too good to call or write my fans. This will be the last draft. No. Okay. Too far? All right.
Yeah,
Always.
that was too far. But listen, I don't know if
Always.
he will or not. I don't think he's not a guy that usually trades up. I just hope he will. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he won't. I hope he does.
All right. Well, Matt Briggs.
Yeah, same with Paris. There's not really. I mean, D'Amico Ryans is down there in combine with Casario scouting out the talent. I'm excited for free agency. We have the 3rd most money, and we have 11 picks in the draft. So the offseason is going to be huge for us, and I'm excited to see what happens. So, but look, all the Texans fans that said we need to trade up to 1. Why? Like, just don't do it. You either get Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, or you trade back and pick up Derek Carr and get Anthony Richardson.
I still can't believe you
Like-
want Derek Carr. Like,
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's not that bad of a quarterback.
I hope you get him.
I hope they
I
take
hope
C.J.
too.
Stroud just to get Harish upset.
I'll be pissed.
That's the quarterback I want. I want C.J. Stroud, but
No, don't jump. No. Don't jump on the train now. The train's been rolling for a long time.
I've been on the train since Deshaun Watson left. I don't know what you're talking about. So, but yeah, I'm just excited for the draft. I'm hoping we make some moves too, but I don't see the Bears trading back because the price is going to be too high. I don't think these teams are going to give up multiple first rounds, especially with the quarterback draft going to be the class next year going to be better than what it is this year. So
I was gonna say, Matt, you've never been on the CJ Stroud train. You've been on the Caleb Williams train.
I have, but this year I would take C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, it's interesting to see which other. I honestly think Casario might go defense in this draft and stack.
I'll be
defense.
I'll be
Why
fine with
wouldn't
I'll be fine with Roy Anderson at 2. Use the 12th pick to get Anthony Richardson or something else. I really don't
Quentin
mind.
Johnson, dude. Did you see Quentin Johnson today?
Yeah.
That dude is a fucking animal. I hated that motherfucker. He's good.
I also at 33rd, I want Darnell. I think his name's Darnell Washington, the tight end. Dude put on the showing at the combine. So
I heard it was pretty good. I heard what's his name? Shefty was saying he was doing really well.
yeah. But other than that, for the Texans, that's it. Ready to roll it out.
good. Well, if nobody else has any, listen, somebody needs to send me this Pat Mahomes video. I just want to throw that out. If you're watching or if you're on the show,
It is not.
you know it's been
Literally,
scrubbed. It's been
not
scrubbed.
hard
No,
to find.
it's in all the
It's
news.
not hard
articles.
to find.
Video is in the news articles.
If anybody can find it, it's Jon Ha. I mean, he has it in his library.
Yeah, he probably.
It is not hard to find.
He's
Sam.
actually the one that hacked the webcam
Yeah.
Right.
that saw it.
He's like,
He's
oh,
saying-
finally, we got
Security
Jack
cam.
Mahomes.
Finally.
You guys don't understand. You don't understand. Those webcams don't need to be hacked. They're already hacked.
Right.
If it's
Well, yeah.
turned on, everybody can watch it in my office.
Like right now, they're watching it.
Yeah. In real time. Like
Great.
All
Sam,
right.
you don't put tape over your webcam, I've noticed.
Yeah. You watch me, John?
Hey, well, I see your living room all the time. You're
Tw-
never in there.
What's her name from Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
Louise.
I know
Working
you're
like
there,
Louise
yeah.
in my living room. All right.
That's-
Huh?
Go ahead.
You can see that's why I use a mirrorless camera that I can literally unplug the cord. There is no webcam. There's nothing built in. So it's literally
People say all the
physically
time, like, you know that the government can listen and watch you through your Alexa. And I was like, I don't care. Are they gonna listen to me yell at my kids? Like,
You don't want to worry
Hi,
about
John.
the government. It's just that the no. It's not the government doing it. It's the people who own the Alexa is going to take all that stuff you say and they say, hey, we own it. That's fine. We made the product. We own all of the audio that you send back to us.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Well,
too.
that's
Sell it
good.
to
So they
whoever
own-
wants to buy
so-
it, whoever that may be.
so Bezos owns this part that they can hear, but they don't own the intellectual property that you guys are saying. So we're good.
I hope they use all of the things they've
Wherever it's
recorded me
at.
saying to create an AI of me so that I can continue to annoy people even after I'm dead. I
Oh
hope
my
that-
God! Someone kill it.
I'm
If
gonna
there was
sell-
ever an
kill it.
AI that was going to go rogue and murder all of humanity, it would definitely be an AI created off of the
Someone
recordings
kill that.
my
Someone
I'm-
squashed the digital DNA of the second best Josh Allen.
Sam, thanks for giving me the idea. I'm gonna do that just to freak out my kids out of nowhere. Be like, hey, John, and wave at my Alexa just to freak them out.
John,
doing?
what's up? They're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Josh
All right.
Allen.
Talking back.
Josh Allen. Oh,
Before we sign off, here in a couple of weeks, we will have ex-NFL cheerleader Jordan Price. She's the voice of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. I guess she's a huge Jaguars fan, so she'll be on to talk football with us.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
she says she's gonna bring her pet rat on. So.
oh no! Wait, does she really have one, or is that a joke?
No,
I was like, please don't.
That's what passes for funny jokes down there in Texas.
I'm really
Touche,
glad I
Joe,
never
touche.
saw one of those rats in the stadium because I would have not renewed my tickets, by the way. But anyways, all right, Josh Allen, where do we find you?
Josh Gives Up on Twitter is probably the easiest place to find me, and then obviously in all of the government lists, no-fly lists, all the different lists. Find me there also.
Harish Nukala.
I'm on all the socials at the Uncle Gandhi.
Matt Briggs.
A1 Day 1 Texans, and on Wednesday nights you can find me at Texans Fan Battle.
And Agent Ha.
Any inquiries, complaints, you can find me at Josh Gives Up on Twitter.
Right. Yep.
OnlyFans.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sammy Football with an I, and of course on the Jaguar, which is getting rebranded.
We're not ready to talk about that yet. You will be on the show, but we don't know what it's going to be called yet.
To be continued. Jaguar
Wait,
show
real quick
on
question.
the Fan Battle Sports Network.
How does a show that's never started been rebranded 3 times?
Sir,
It's the Jaguars. The Jaguars
we'll
have
talk about
rebuilt
it.
17 times.
We're not going to talk about that
That's
on
right.
here. We'll talk about it after.
It's the Jaguars. It's a rebuild before the season.
Yeah, it's a podcast rebuild.
Rebuild.
And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at AFSFB. AFC, every time. I used to have it down pat. AFCSFB, that stands for AFC South Fan Battle. On Twitter, on TikTok, all the good stuff. Hope to see you there, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, I am.